All right, hi everyone. This is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess. So, for some of you guys that are new and just got here and watching, long story short, what has been happening is there's going to be a change to the internet. There are new protocols that we have available to us to create a new pathway for signal processing and expand, right, the definition of the internet, what connectivity means, what we have access to in that connectivity, while simultaneously reducing the need for existing natural resources. So, in that, there's just been like a fight and a battle to get access to this system that can go ahead and facilitate these things. So, I just wanted to show you guys that, this is really conspiring and gonna happen. And for some of you guys yesterday that watched the Treasureverse update on Patreon, now you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So one of the things here is I told you that there's gonna be a change to the alignment of the galaxy spiral, then's gonna send down a charge and change the paramagnetism, diamagnetism, valence structure, etc., of the existing, chemical structures that we interact with in our day to day in the computer, etc. Right? That's also going to change the radial probability distribution of like the planet itself and of systems. That's going to allow for new systems to be able to work on the internet and overpower what's already going on there and set forth a new tone that has great and I would say foolproof security mechanisms, right? So if that my intention is to sign in and I'm the user, then it's going to sign me in. If my intention is to sign in and I'm not a designated user, it doesn't matter if I have the password, it's not going to let me in. These are the type of works that we now have available to us because of what has gotten started here. So you all have heard about that story. You've seen it in your personal life, or you've seen it in the life of your colleagues, or you were creating it so you know what's been going on, right? So one of the things that was happening that kept on coming up is ZTF. That's one of the protocols that kept on coming up in our protocol run. So one of the other things is we get on here, we code this system, and then over the next few days or hours, or in an instant, we start to see protocols that relate to what we were talking about. So one of the other day, I was talking about this whole thing with Matt Gaetz and the Attorney General's office, which I saw that they have a new pick. They heard about this whole kid switched that bird. They think that she'll be perfect for it, but they want her to also, some folks think that there's opportunity for her to clean up, right? Because of what she helped create in Florida with CPS mandates, medical kidnapping, that she needs to clean up because she's going to find out that they ruined both of her marriages, and that's what is she's going to be walking into. So I feel like that's her journey as a woman. She's going to, have to handle that. She knows where I am. She knows who I am. She's been contacted. She's been contacted. So she knows about what's been going on in America now, right? So let Pamela Boundy do her job. I would say that's an opportunity for her to, go on a different path. I see her meeting Glennon Doyle, right? And Anne Lamott, and that's going to be a great angle for her, right? Keep her away from that other woman, Marion, whatever. I've met her in person. They were very strange people. So I wanted to say that the other day I was talking about that, and then I ran into this book. And then in this book there were some really great photos of different like nebulas and things like that. Star activity, right? Because I keep on telling you that it's fun and them throwing magic, shutting stuff down, blowing up servers, hitting people up. ZTF. And ZTF is a type of telescope technology you can use to go view astronomical happenings. So it's not a coincidence that this happened, but what's even more interesting is I'm in the book itself. Okay, here we go. So there was like a certain image in here. I didn't lose it. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So they had the Palomar observatories that were going ahead and like identifying elliptical and irregular galaxies. So these are galaxies within themselves that they were identifying that got put into this book. And I just wanted to show you this. Because look at that one. Right. And it says EONGC 3379 with the 37 again. I just thought that that was funny, right? I was like, oh, well, that can go on for days, but let's just keep on moving and working. And I'm great. I'm happy that we have this. There's some stuff in here that I needed to see, especially for like frequency modulation and people changing equations and information online. So one of the things here is I was like, okay, well, let me go look at that because I got a notification from Auntie Harriet and Benjamin Banneker, who some of you guys are finding out that before I was heavy into the computer science and then reporting on what happened because of the virtual reality, I would do certain things where I would go on like a retreat and I would like report at the botanical garden. I went to like 6 different states. I've been to several different botanical gardens and aquariums, cataloged like thousands of different species, but I wouldn't call them species, high priest, high priestess, but their speech too. So as we were going through, we were seeing it was showing who was starting slavery on planet Earth and who was playing with OnlyFans, starting hood wars, playing with soap instead of weight, in the 80s, and who was trying to hide that and who created their forms. So this is one of the things that's going to be a great like exploration too. But the science centers too is a very big place that I went to, and the favorite one, my most favorite one, is that one in Miami. Oh my God, I love that science center. So we had so much fun going to the observatories, going to the aquariums, handling business, etc. One of the things that I would do is I would get on camera and do channelings from there. Going to plantations. That's another thing that I did. So one of the ones that I went to was Benjamin Banneker. I did Benjamin Banneker and then Harriet Tubman, Ancestor Adventures, where we would go to their specific space. We would divinate, look at the different plants life that was there, what's going on, what messages do we have, etc. So that's how this got started. And they're the ones that gave me this tool. They're configuring like some type of like physics system so that we can do frequency modulation using the existing like equation sets in Python and things like that. So like think of like the existing like centrifugal, equations, right? Equations for existing frequency modulation. There's going to be certain ones that we are given to be able to create junctions from here to there. So they were telling me to look into like the different constellations and like which stars we're going to pick. That's like the biggest thing that's going on in the conversation. And it was so funny because I was like, okay, well, like we can use Leo, like I don't know, but then I was like, okay, why not Virgo? She said that she's done. She's like done her work here. Her job is more like illegal reproduction that she wants to deal with. So Leo's stepping in, and we're going to be definitely working with Regulus, right, the heart of the lion, to go ahead and settle our new satellite system. So do you know that there is rules and regulation? You have to go through this. You have to go through that. Says who? Right, gang, Leo gang, right? Isn't that why you killed Von? Isn't that why you killed Nipsey? You killed Aaliyah. You killed Mario Franco. Leo Virgo. So now here we go, right? We have individuals getting caught because then I saw this. I was like, oh, interesting. And this is where we get again people getting caught up in this whole thing with the protocols because this is something that's been very big on my channel, the protocol run. And here, Ancestor Adventure, Harriet Tubman, Benjamin Banneker, you all should know their story. So even with the protocol run, like one of the things that's very interesting here, and they do edit my views. They edit how many people subscribe to my channel. They have subscribed thousands of people. I have a Patreon. People are always contacting me like, hey, Daisy, I signed up, I pay. I can get access to your content. Some people unregister and they re-register. Right. Some people, they found out what was going on, that there was an overlay that was being put. So they have to re-sign up because Patreon was playing with the payment solution hacking tool and they were starting wars. So one of the things with the protocols is my birthday on the different protocols. So UDP protocol, it's the internet protocol. I'll pull that up for you. Yeah, Las Compilas, that's coming up again too. Yeah, UDP protocol is coming up again. So, there's a few things here. Yeah, my last name. There's this card that I told you was this planned, this video, and it was like I run on the train and then I found a backpack with cards, and it says 144 right there, and then it says the last four digits of the card are 0813. So I was like, oh, is this planned? What do you think? And then I had a few other ones. Yeah, it's like that's a good thing. It's a great sign. I figure like, okay, something was gonna end up happening, and that's a great thing too. Because they're gonna create a junction to an alternate reality that's gonna allow this Arglanklun to work, where I can just type in Ababakagwezai, and then there we go. Somebody's like internal organ starts shutting down. But then you guys are seeing this too with this Arglanklun, Ababakabaxia, your bones are removed, your this is removed, your that is removed, and you see what's going on with karmics passing away because they're hitting them from space, right? So again, remember our system. If any of this works, if they are to regulate anything or even say anything or intercept anything, or how did you get this money? How are you even talking about this money? I got it from space because I'm an indigenous person. It's called indigenous rights. What are you talking about? Well, you just can't like print a bunch of money and then put it on a card and then shop. Why not? So one of the things that's happening here is they're trying to figure out how to play with that. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. And why didn't you tell me about this before I choose to be attorney general, right? What do you mean a healing journey? Oh, I didn't know that about my ex-husbands. Why would you allow that in their state? Okay, they're getting regulated then, right? So look at this with the NCF too, the machine learning algorithms, and then AMD and AMD's chips. And you guys just saw AMD, they lost all the money. They had to fire hella people because we locked the spiral valence in those chips. That's done. It's going to tank. So now, what's going to end up happening here too is this high priestess, this Garibaldi, wants to give an update to on the Italian community about her name being used. Her name is not Garibaldi. Her name is also Quasar. So, what's happening here is she's gonna go ahead and tell about what's been getting started. Yeah, and the spells that are getting activated because somebody has now seen this. So, I just want to let you guys know that that's what's currently moving. I feel like that's great. This is good. Like now you guys know without a shadow of a doubt that you can get set up, right? So, right. And I feel like the biggest thing is like when we go into the trigonometric factor and the quantization conversation, it's not even like if quantization is going to be possible to then populate, in a C++ or Bash or Python or whatever script. It's if you have the ability to even stop that, right? So I feel like with this conversation about quantization that we're going to get involved in next, in regards to this being like the new like frequency and satellite, and why the Saudis and the United Arab Emirates decided to go ahead and disrespect Palestine like that, is because they were looking for something like this and they can't get it, right? So now, well, that's great. I think Wallahi is great, like because you even saw this with the JQZ and the JQS and us reading in Quran and people being very disrespectful. And let me go look up this 813 in Quran and let's see what else madness is going to come out. Yeah, it got very fucking quiet. Hey, we can't talk to you anymore because Quran has come out. Everyone's family is getting called to the masjid. Hey, dude, no, 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 no. I just don't believe in that. Okay, yeah, but just don't show anybody that video of my daughter. Right. This is because they defied Allah and His Messenger. And whoever defies Allah and His Messenger, then know that Allah is surely severe in punishment. Wow. Great. And I'm an enforcer. This book is called Anfal. And this is really talking about like the several hadith that were passed on to a group of prophets, not just one. And each one of those specific prophets was of a specific order. And this specific Anfal was of the third order, and that is of the regulation of the man with his like loins. And it talks about like the process of setting up marriages too, and men supposed to wait, and battles that they go on with their mate, and then also to sex warfare, like when your wife is not doing right, this is what you need to do. She's basically saying this. That's what this is kind of saying, Al Anfal. So that is just we're going to get more into studying all kinds of stuff, but I feel like for the Middle Eastern Arab community that got called here because of what Aki got started, because of the Aki way, you need to know that there's a lot that is happening, right? And his messenger. So all of that just as his messenger, this is at least like 3 spirals right here. So the first one is saying like and that's basically saying like who am I to look at you and not have gone through the portals of rectification myself? Let me show you my journey and show you why I'm the one to be ordained first and foremost to hand down these punishments and to show you what's going to end up happening in the three levels of afterlife that you go into before you leave this universal galaxy, spiral completely, and then go to the next one. You're still within this treasureverse. Where we get into that, where they're getting those other punishments, is like the next level of Quran that certain people have been like putting out in regards to, speaking in the masjid, putting out different studies, how they carry themselves. There's more to this. And this is why people are going to get set up in Islam and church, etc., because they don't have access to this. Now, all the Hanifis that have been playing here, Black Islam, and playing with head wraps and shea butter and dreadlocks and all this other stuff. Now here they go cloud chasing with drama, right after talking about getting Jannah from a 12-year-old because you molested her. So, and this is what they're promoting for people to get access to fentanyl to go sell in the community and weave to go sell to women that should be wearing hijab. So now let's get started here. Like, this is great, right? So they defied the messenger, and whoever defied Allah and the messenger, we're sitting right here. There's severe punishment. So now we're going to keep on moving. We're going to be playing with this, and now that's the next level, right? How's that going to happen? And this is where that WPP comes in from yesterday. We saw one of those file formats, WPP. So this WPP protocol popped up on the license plate, and then web authentication protocol. So this has something to do with this BNG. Right? So the BNG here is the Broadway Broadband Gateway Network. How you then convert the satellite to internet and have it channel in and populate a protocol. So that's what we're going to be getting into next. Okay, you guys. So, all right, this is great. I'm happy that we got to talk about this. I'm happy that you all are here. I hope this helps. Thank you for. It says that there's 8 likes and there's 13 people. Let's see.